Hey everybody, Andy here. Happy Thursday. Great to be here helping you build a career you love. If you are here with me live, get in the chat, say hi. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you do. Let me know what you need. Put some question marks in front of your questions so I can find them. And if you're watching me on the recording, great to have you too. Got a good package for you today on what to do when an employer lowballs your salary. So we're talking the insultingly low, like just borderline offensive kind of offer or upgrade or whatever it might be. What do you say in the wake of this? And so I'm going to give you my absolute best technique, a question that I would ask immediately after I received a very low offer. And then we're going to talk through why that might have occurred and then some things that I want you to do or consider as you go forward with this. So it's going to be a great one. Get in. I see everything looks like it's moving pretty good. I'm wearing stripes today. Different striped shirt than I was a couple of weeks ago, but still feeling very nautical. Anyway, great to have you. John Bailey, hey, my mom is in the house, and Anna Goldman from the other side of the pound, my world-class, first-class traveler. Great to see you. Me Malone, Lucky Star 225. Great to have everybody. All right, let's get right into this. So no one will ever accuse me of planning my content too far in advance because I like to be current. I like to be talking with you about the issues that you're facing each week. And I like to observe what's happening. So on Tuesday, so for those of you that are here with me live Thursday, it is April 22nd, Earth Day, when we're recording this. But a couple of days ago on April 20th, I put out a video on what to say in your salary offer discussion. So basically, what would you say when you receive an offer? And we were kind of playing off the fact that employers were trying to display an offer for a person in my community, and they were comparing her rate or his rate to the rate of the team. And so we started talking through some of that, and I got a lot of questions, people asking me, are employers using the global crisis as an excuse to actually lowball potential employees, especially those that are out of work? But actually, even before that, over the weekend, this is what really got it rolling for me on this topic. I have she's rather sensational coaching client. She and I do a lot of one-on-one work together. I prep her for a lot of interviews. I counsel her on her career. We have a very, very strong relationship, and we meet quite frequently. She's been going through a lot of interviews. She's a very senior person. She's a chief revenue officer type of position, a high earner, very smart, very experienced, and has been interviewing with a lot of private equity companies and startups, and she's been getting some offers, but she continues to turn them down because she hasn't found the right one. She emails me on Saturday and said, Andy, thanks for the coaching earlier. We went through, I finished up with this company. They selected me from a list of many people to actually give me the position. And I got into a discussion with the CEO yesterday, so Friday, and he gave me this insultingly low offer, and I really need to talk with you. Can we meet early Monday or Tuesday? Because I need to get back to him with my response. I'm not sure if I should just walk away and all that good stuff, or if I should even waste my breath, that kind of stuff. So we ended up getting together, and what I'm going to share with you today is what I taught her to say and do and how to approach it. And it applies to you, anybody. It doesn't matter what you earn, what your position is, where you are in the world. And so I want to share that. Now, the first thing that I would say when you actually get an offer, so step 0 is don't make any reaction. And when I say you're getting an offer, I'm talking about they are either socializing the offer. So you'll hear me say that a lot. We say that a lot in my recruitment business, where I'll talk to a client, and rather than put all the paperwork together initially, we like to have a little dialogue about what the candidate is feeling. And so we socialize the information before we put it all in writing. That's a common practice because employers want to get to the point where they can put a good offer together for you initially. So a lot of times they will socialize it. I always will tell you I want you to react to something. Let them socialize to you. Don't you actually socialize to them. So this CEO was socializing his offer with my client, and that's what a lot of companies will do. So either they're socializing it or they're actually putting a formal offer in front of you of which it is, in your opinion, whether rightly so or wrongly so, an insultingly low offer. So the first thing that you do is don't have any reaction. And the second thing that you should do is, I always am sharing with you, teaching, harping on the fact that it's always better never to assume. You always want to get more information. And in this case, there's some critical information that you need in order to know what your next step should be. So the best way to get at that information is to understand how the employer views the position and views you. So what I shared with her and what I would tell you to say is the best question to ask once you get this offer, thank them, say thank you very much. I appreciate that you would like to make this work. I would like to understand, is the amount you offered based on how you view the position in general, or based on how you feel I specifically will do and contribute based on the skills and experience I bring to the table? So, because what are you ultimately trying to get at? You want to know, is that what you would offer anyone because that's what you think the position should pay? Or is that specific to me? Okay, let's drive this one home. I know a few of you are going to want to loop that, but this is what I'm talking about. You're trying to get at, is it A or is it B? Because that's going to tell you what to do. So, is this how you value the position in general? Maybe you just think that's what the position pays and that's what you were going to offer to anyone. That's the first part of the question. The or part of the question, and the word feel is important. Or is that how you feel I specifically will, the value I will contribute based on my skills and experience? Okay? And if what I'm saying ain't coming through, like with zero distortion, I wrote this one out for you. It's code for, is that what you think anyone is worth, or is that what you just think I'm worth? This is ultimately what you need to do because you're at a fork in the road with your decision-making process. And as a matter of fact, you need to know, do I just throw the white flag in and say, I'm out of here, or do you stand up and fight? So this is what you're trying to get at. Okay, so think about that. Is that how you feel about the position, or is that what you think of the position in general? That's how you value it, or is that how you feel and what I'm worth? Okay, now, if they say, well, that's what we think the position pays, right? If A, you got a couple of options. If it's truly insultingly low, then what I would do is you either walk away, right? You're worth more. You deserve more. Get with me. We'll help you figure it out, right? Get with the community or whatever, but stand your ground. Walk away. Politely walk away. That's okay. You can do this. Or if, kind of part A.1 is if you feel that you are in a position where, I need this job. I need to have some money coming in. I get that, right? All our circumstances are different. Then, actually, I'd accept it. Try to negotiate, right? Try to negotiate with all the other negotiating tactics that I've given you, or, right? And then you keep looking. So that's another option there. If it's option A, meaning that's what I value in that position. That's actually what I think it's worth. That's what I'm willing to pay. Okay, that's one route. Now, but what if it's B, right? What if it's B? All right, well, hang on. Actually, I value the position more. And if I had a person with better skills, more experience, or I felt did better in the interviewing process, right? That's what they're saying. So now you can hang in there and fight, but now you know it's worth getting in the ring. Okay, now, if they say this, you have to ascertain why they think what they think. Okay, so now we're getting into another fork, right? You stay and fight. That's what they think you are worth. Now, what usually happens? Now you need more explanation, right? Why do you think that, right? Why do you think that's what I'm worth? So don't start going into your counteroffer and making your argument and getting all defensive. That's the wrong tactic. Every single interaction for as long as you possibly can go, should be asking questions, because I don't want you making assumptions and you don't know what they think until they literally say it. Okay, so why do you think that? Now, one of the very common things you're going to hear is, I'm telling you they could be with a capital C-O-U-L-D, could be using the wrong metric. What do I mean by this? Well, we think that's what the market pays. I think that job's worth $110,000. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Or how about this one? That's what we pay the team. That's what we've historically paid. That's what I think we can get during a pandemic and you're out of work. There could be a million reasons, but this is the wrong metric. All right, let me give you a for instance of what I shared with my coaching client. So we get into this situation where she gets into the CEO's office, and this was a train wreck because, for number one, the CEO had enlisted a recruitment firm who they were paying. And the recruitment firm should have been communicating with my client, my coaching client. But they weren't. The CEO kind of went into the meeting half-cocked, so to speak, and said, okay, well, we chose you. This is great. I'm really excited. And so he wanted to socialize what was in his head. This is like stream of consciousness, the absolute worst way to get into a discussion like this. So this is something I want you to look out for. And he said, well, I'm thinking 400,000. Now, I'm guessing she choked. And by the way, this is a very high earner. It's a fraction of what she earns today. And she said, I was so stunned, I didn't even know what to say. She said, and I think my facial expression said it all. And before I even said anything, he then said, well, okay, maybe 600. Okay, she didn't even open her mouth. And he counter-offered himself 50% increase on her salary. And now she had collected herself, and now she was really confused because she hadn't even said anything. And so she said, well, can you help me better? Didn't have the tactic I gave her until after the fact. And she said, well, can you help me better understand why you think that job should pay for that? He said, well, I got to keep you closely in line with the team. And the chief customer service person earns $350, and the chief people officer earns $325. And so she said, well, how do I counter that? Now, I don't know if I got any of my leaders here in my folks in my leadership coaching. And what do we talk about when we talk about how to get somebody to see something differently? I talk to you about priming and framing. And for those of you that ain't in my leadership program, this is the number one tactic when somebody tells you something silly like that. Okay? It's called reframing. So you need to get them to look at their concept, their thing, their opinion, their whatever, in a completely different manner because they are not looking at it the way you want them to, nor the way they should be looking at it. So what do I mean by this? Well, this woman, my client, is a chief revenue officer. She's going to generate all the money. Okay, she's going to help them grow substantially. The chief customer service person doesn't do any of that. They service the customers. Obviously, we want to keep the customers happy, but that job isn't as hard as actually making the initial sale and setting it all up. And the chief people job certainly isn't anywhere near as influential. So she said to me, should I walk away or should I go to fight? And I said to her, and like I'll say to you, I never want you to walk away until you are absolutely certain you need to walk away, because you don't want to be looking over your shoulder. So what do you got to do? We got to get more information. We got to figure out if he actually values the position this way, if it was something you didn't do in the interview to prove that you were worth more, or if he just doesn't really understand how to look at this and what you should be getting paid based on your contribution. Not what I think you should be getting paid, but based on the value you are going to create. So let's use their information to help him and understand, and you reframe the argument so when you go back and you have the second discussion that isn't even going to be your official counteroffer, but you need to get him to look at this differently. She says, how do I do that? I said, well, let's look at what you earn first off and all the things that you have and what it took to get those and the contributions you made. Now, you go back to him, and he's looking at you in terms of the other executives on the team, which is a bad way to be looking at you because your job is going to be completely different. They make $50 million this year. So I asked her, what is their projection for the next, say, 5 years? Let's be generous, let's say 4. She said, well, they have put plans together, and their message to me is we should be doubling based on the product, based on the market, based on the prospects, based on the whatever. We should be doubling every year for the next 5 years. That's 100 million in year 1 for her, 200 million in year 2, 400 million in year 3, 800 million in year 4. Okay? 1% of $800 million, $8 million, that's what you want to earn over the 4 years. So how do we show him that your focus should be on generating that money, and you should be paid in relation to the value you provide, which is generating that money, building the global team, so on and so forth. And he doesn't have to give you the money, but there needs to be a structure in place where he pays you $8 million. Okay, so you don't have to give me 2, 2, 2, and 2. You could pay me 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? 1% or something like that, but that's reframing it to get him off costs for people who don't even do the same job you do. And even if they did do the same job that you do, now you have to reframe it in terms of your own skills in relation to them. But this is what I mean. If you're going to fight, it isn't because you think the market pays $8 million for you. It's because based on what you're going to contribute and the agreement that you are going to make, that is your goal, and that you are the one that's going to be doing that, and that's his expectation, then you should be paid in alignment with what those goals are and the contributions you're going to make. And there could be bonuses in there and other things, right? You don't just gift the money away. But you got to reframe your argument. You have to decide, is it worth it to even have this discussion? But if you're going to have it, you need to do it. Okay, this is one way. Now, this is a great example of, I think, what we were talking about the other day on Tuesday on the recorded video that I released, because I think Meme Town was asking me about, well, they want to pay me what the rest of the team gets paid. Well, in that case, that's what you need to do. You need to reframe what they're thinking. If they say, where'd it go? That's what we think, or we need to pay you in terms of what the team is. This is the number one tactic that you need to do if they go that route. Now, if they say, well, I just think that's what you're worth, okay, based on what you showed me in the interviews. Now, here's what you need to remember at this point. If this is effectively what they're saying to you, we liked you the most, or you were the only horse in the race, or whatever. But if they gave you an offer, they want you to take it. Okay? They didn't put the offer in front of you, or they're not socializing it because they don't want you to take it. They want you to take it. So now you have to determine, well, where did I fall short? Where did I not show you what I was going to do? Now you have to get into an argument where you're going to have to repackage some of the things that you explained in the interviewing process. But at least you know you need to do this now. This is different. This is a different tactic. So if they pull you towards the team, or they say this is what we think the market pays, or any of that nonsense, you got to reframe it. If they say that's what we think you're worth based on how you performed in the interview process, you have a whole different fight that you have to have. Now you're going to have to revisit what it is that your goals and objectives are, and you have to bring up those goals and objectives again to talk about what your contributions are going to be. This is much hairier, because if this means you did not perform as well as perhaps you could have in the interviewing process. And here's another thing about what happens, especially at this juncture. Right now, there's a lot of confusion in the world, right? Some employers, mistakenly so, think they're going to be able to get people for on the cheap. Job candidates, like a lot of you folks, you think you know what you're worth. I don't know how you think that. I don't know why you think that. I don't know if you bought a book of data. I don't know if you're looking on websites. I don't know if that's what you're used to being paid. And employers, they think they know what you're worth based on stuff they buy and data they buy. But let me tell you this. You remember I said this. Just think about this the next time you have an opinion. In God I trust, and for everything else, I need data. The problem with your situation right now is no data exists for a moment in time decision for what you're actually worth. The employers don't have it, and you don't have it. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to make your best argument based on what you know. You have to realize when the trends change in the market, what you are worth. Data you're looking at is already latent. It's already done. That's what people were getting paid 6, 8, 10 months, 12 months ago. That's how the data was collected, packaged, and shown. Right? You don't know what this employer is willing to pay for you to do this job right now. And you don't know that. You cannot possibly know that. None of us can. That's the point I always keep making about there is no such thing as market pay. Don't hang your hat on that. I have no problem if you want to ask a few friends, but that's not a lot of data points. And looking on websites, those are really not good data points. Okay, you don't know what this particular situation, what the outcome of it will be. So you have to do your best to get the most reasonable amount that doesn't put a bullseye on your head. You just don't know. So I want to reiterate what we're talking about here. If you get now we're talking about an insultingly low offer. I would not be asking this if they gave you a pretty fair offer. Is that how you feel about this position in general? Is that amount of money how you feel about this position in general? Or is it how you feel I specifically will do and what I will contribute based on my skills and experience? Okay, that's the question I want you to ask. And then I want you to make the determination, okay, well, if that's the case, right? If A, if B, decide what you want to do. Use the tactics I've given you, not to mention all the other tactics I've given you in the salary negotiation playlist on my channel. And the last thing that I'll mention before we go to the Q&A for those of you that are here with me live, on May 11th, I have a job search mini camp. It's a live 4-parter, okay? It's gonna be awesome. And on the 11th, we're talking about the resume. On the 13th of May, we're talking about job searching and in particular boss hunting, and I've created a whole new boss hunting Bible. So that's gonna be a great one. And then the following week on Tuesday, the 18th, we're gonna be talking about interviewing, but on Thursday, May 20th, I am going in depth on salary and negotiation and a specific case study for somebody in my coaching group that I worked with, and exactly what he did everything right. And he was nice enough to say, you can share this with the community because there's a lot of good insight in it. And so I hope if you're watching this before then, you jump into that job search mini camp. And if you are watching this after, I would definitely go back, like I said, to my salary negotiation playlist and check out those tactics. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I want to get to some questions now. For everybody who's watching this on the recording, I'll see you next week. And for everybody that's here, let's go to the chat. How we doing? That was, I get a lot of questions on that one this week. Can I get a Heidi hi? Did you guys enjoy that? I really, I'll tell you, any of you that are running a business, any of you that are sellers or marketers, let me tell you this. I laugh when people say to study your competition and people that do what you do. And I laugh at that. I'm gonna tell you why I'm telling you this. But I laugh at that because if you study your competition, you're just gonna do what they do, right? Or you're likely gonna do what they do. You will fall victim to that. I don't listen to any, I don't watch any other career coaches, okay, or leadership coach. I just listen to you. You tell me what you need. You tell me what the problems are you're facing, and what happens is you guys come in waves, right? You don't all find me. Some of you have been following me for years, and some of you have been following me for 20 minutes, right? And so what happens is you keep me current, you ask me questions, and a lot of times they're similar questions in general, but then we have market conditions like we have now that are creating confusing acts, reactions, and those kind of things. And what it does is it helps me elevate my teaching to get into the finer points with you. You need to do that for those of you who are running your own business and those of you that are selling and marketing and developing products. You need to be spending all your time with your Why do you think I come here every week? Okay, I haven't missed a Thursday all year. And I've been doing this for years, right? So I hope you take that and you model your research after that. And you can glance at your competitors, but I wouldn't be spending a lot of time. And if you do it this way, you're probably going to be needing to look in the rearview mirror at them, and they'll be looking up to you. So, all right, let's get to some questions. I see John Bailey, hey to you, great to see you. Interview tomorrow, lots of luck, buddy. And Mom, great to see you. And Anna Goldman, you know I love you, and you were one of them that asked me on the YouTube channel, so that was for you. Appreciate that. Me Malone. Let me see. We got a couple here. Me. I have my 5th round interview today with what would be my boss's boss for a portfolio manager position in banking. Any tips? I will tell you this. You've gone through the background, the psychological stuff. I found you right after the phone screen phase. A lot of info has been invaluable. You should do a segment on interviewing with industrial psychology. We actually have a bunch of those in the programs. And personality testing. That was new to me. Okay, me Malone. Let me tell you this. Ooh, hang on a second. Oh, you're kidding. Okay, my team is telling me that that they're having a hard time posting links. Let me see if that worked. I don't know, did that work? That seemed to work. Perhaps, hang on a sec, so then I don't have to keep doing this. Do you have your blue wrenches? Message deleted by Google moderator team. Message deleted by Kara. Okay, hang on a sec. I don't know what that is. Why don't you log in as me? See if you can do that. Your questions are getting deleted. I'm not sure what to say there. I see if you can log in as me, and then try that, and then we'll live to fight another day when this is done. I'm not sure what to do about that right now. Let's do our best and see if you can actually log in as me. So folks, you might see, you might see me commenting while I'm talking. So let's try that. All right, let me go back to me Malone's question. I have my 5th round interview today with what would be my boss's boss for a portfolio manager position. Any tips? I've already gone through my background, psychological, and references. Thanks. Okay, so one thing that I would say, as you get together with senior executives, you know I'm going to first tell you, I have a video on this already. And I talk about how to interview with senior level people, senior level executives, and perhaps when my team logs in as me, they could give you that. It's on YouTube. And it talks about making sure that when you are going up, here's the one tip I'm going to give you on this, because interviewing wise, you need to use all the tactics that are on the channel. Okay, so all the things that I talk about in interviewing are true no matter who you're interviewing with. But when you get into the upper tiers like this, what you want to do is you want to make sure and anticipate that they are likely going to have you ask them questions. So if I'm going into a meeting with my boss's boss, I would make the assumption that I will carry the entire interview with my questions, not theirs. Okay, they might ask me a few, but usually, by the way, this is probability and odds. It's not an absolute guarantee, but giving you my advice would be, I would make sure that I had questions where I could run the hour with those questions. There are a lot of clients of mine, our executive recruitment firm, when you would get into these levels that would just say, okay, what questions do you have for me? I'm sure my team vetted you. They all seem to love you, which is the reason you're talking to me now. So I'd love to be able to share anything I can about the company and how it's going to be so awesome for you if you join. So what would you like to know? There's a lot of interviews that are run that way. Then you're going to say, well, Andy, what questions should I ask? Well, the questions you ask should be driven based on your requirements, what you need to know, and the intersection of that. Requirements meaning what is it that you're looking for. The questions you develop should be based on what you're looking for so you can investigate whether this company can actually satisfy it. But the next thing that you need to do is you need to intersect those questions with questions that are appropriate for somebody at this level. Okay, meaning you shouldn't be asking this person about benefits. You shouldn't be asking this person about career growth. You should be asking this person about the strategy of the company, the go-to-market, the whatever this person's position is in banking, and what's the customer development strategy? What's the this and that? I'd love to get your perspective. Take it up a notch. So that's what I would do there. It's a great question. And check that video out. But I really would make sure that you are, in fact, elevating those questions and keeping them at the target audience, which is a senior person. All right, hope that helps. Hey, team, can you check back in? And are you actually, is everything working? Lucky Star 225. Is it a bad sign when a hiring manager says the end of the interview that he has one more interview to do before he decides if he needs to expand the candidate search? I feel like he doesn't consider me. So, okay, so a couple things here. It's obviously the best sign if they say, Lucky Star, we found our next star, right? Like, that's what we want to hear. But it doesn't always come out that way. So if he says he has one more interview to decide before he needs to expand the candidate search, it feels like he doesn't consider me. I don't know if he means we have one more interview with you or we have one more candidate we're interviewing to determine. So I cannot tell you because I don't know what the different variables are in this situation. Of course, it's not a great thing that they want to continue because if what you ultimately want is you want them to select you. Oh, goodness. Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Try it again. Try it again. I'm not getting the code. Sorry, folks. I'm not getting a, hold on. Hang on a second. Could be, hold on. So sorry about this, folks. Stacy or Kara, try that. I don't know. Try that again. Try it again. My phone was on do not disturb as it obviously should be during my live shows with my people. Okay, try it again. Let me see if you can get in that way, and I'll keep an eye out for it. Okay, Lucky Star. I hope that helps. Obviously we. All right, hold on. Sorry, folks. Hold tight. Oh, this is odd. Okay, hang on. It's got a G in front of it. I think this might be the first time I'm texting during my live show. All right, folks, sorry about this. All right. And then Lucky Stars asked me, does this reflect bad on the company culture? It took 3 weeks just to schedule an interview. Interviewer was 10 minutes late. He told me to remind him in 1 week about telling me the interview result. So I would say that obviously I don't know this company. What you're sharing with me, and I'm trying to say this with as straight a face as possible, is not a great sign. And if it's me, and I would tell you this, that you all are interviewing them as well. If somebody did that to me and said that I needed to remind them in a week, I would say, don't worry about it. Let me make your life easier. No need to remind. I'm pulling myself out. Okay? Now, the fact that it took 3 weeks just to schedule it, I don't know. They could have been out. They could have been sick with COVID. They could have been traveling on vacation. That could have been anything. Now, I would prefer that they were communicating with me during those times. But that's my expectation, and my expectations are irrelevant in the way people behave. So I just look at the signs. And I would prefer to work with an employer who embraces me from a communication standpoint, just a handling perspective in the recruitment process. And remember this, most of the time, the recruitment process is their best behavior you will ever get from them. It's true. Okay, believe me, this is not like me speculating. This is coming from the data, right? In God I trust, but in everything else I need data. I have the data for that. Okay, so yes, those are my thoughts on that. Patty Cranky, part 11. Uh-oh. Company's contact informed me a third-party recruiter was going to contact me, scheduled the interview with the recruiter. She canceled 5 minutes after the planned time. Rescheduled for the next day. Recruiter did not show up. Emailed her 7 minutes after the time, didn't respond. Had an what to do next? Nothing. Don't do anything. Leave it. Forget it. Move on. Had an interview with the CEO of a German-based company. He asked me my age, caught me off guard. No, it is inappropriate in the U.S. That's true. I answered, what's the best way out if that happens again? Well, let me say this. If I don't know all the German, etiquette or laws, if it's legal, it's legal. And he can ask or she can ask those kinds of things. I would just answer them. Eventually, they're going to find that out. But if I'm in the U.S. and that would happen to me, I would probably laugh and say I feel really young, or I don't know. These are signs that you should run for the door. Okay, not walk, like run for the door kind of thing. Deborah Chapman, good morning to you. They asked me the disagreement question. I had the advice on PPO. Okay, so if you do not know what Deborah Chapman here is talking about, I have a video out there on the best answer to the disagreement question. Please check it out. And Deborah is right. I do offer the PPO tactic. Dana, how do? You're probably biking. So, Dana, I believe I've given you the language in the no job opening cover letter. So the language you're looking for is in the no job opening cover letter. It's like a 7-sentence cover letter. And because there's no job opening, you have to talk about your rationale for why you want to join the company. I literally wrote the sentence for you already. So, 1-2 sentences tops. Check that template out. I love you too. All right, baby girl. Because the video you put out on Tuesday, the other company I interviewed and offered a job put out the same tactic with me. My decision certainly became easier. Guys, check that video out. Maybe Stacy or Kara, whoever's logged in as me, can actually put that in to the chat. And wait, can I say this? So Dana, thank you for this. Just so you guys know, couple things. I do have a job search coaching program. I'm not going to go all into it right now. A lot of people jumped in the last week. We ran a 2-day sale. That sale's over, where we were giving you $100 off. If you want to get in my job search coaching program, most of you know as the Job Search Bootcamp, if you email us at support@milewalk.com, we will be happy to give you $100 off. The reason that this is a really sweet thing to do right now is because you could go through the program, and the Job Search Minicamp, which is a free program that I mentioned earlier that I'm going to be doing on the YouTube channel, we're actually with the people in the boot camp and other people who would like to get the VIP pass are having a private Zoom room, and we're gonna have an extended Q&A with only that group. So you could go through the program and then bring me your questions starting May 11th. And then in the wake of the 4-part workshop, we're going to have 4 more sessions over the next 2 weeks right after that. So the last week in May and the first week in June, there's 4 more. So Dana's saying, just join. It's 1,000% worth it. It doesn't get any better than it. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, it's a lot. Well, first off, it's a self-paced program. So you go at your own speed. It's all in there. You just go in order. But the other thing is I do provide online support, and I do provide the private group coaching sessions. And in May, you get 8 of those. So it's a really great thing. If you're on the fence, it's a great time to do it. And while it's not on, officially on sale, I always like to offer it for people who email us and ask for the coupon. We have a private link where we will give you a little price break. So I hope you take advantage of that. Ajit Nair, hey Andy, when should one update their LinkedIn with a new job? I left the job after 3 months, updated my LinkedIn after just 1 week of joining an HR, recently joined a new company. Not sure if I should update my LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is, obviously it's a great tool for allowing people to find you, allowing them to get a view of you. I'm not sure that I completely understand the question, but let me say this. There's no hard and fast rule about when you need to update your LinkedIn profile. You update it whenever suits you. But if I took a new job, I would update it. If I left that job and I took a new job, I would update it with the new job. Now, if you were saying that you were concerned because you were only there 3 months, should I actually put that in my profile? That's entirely up to you. If you feel it will help you, put it. If you feel it will hurt you, take it out. I probably, if it was me, depending on the situation, I probably wouldn't even put it in there. But that's just me. But I obviously don't know all your parameters. So I hope that helps get you in the right direction. Natalie Allman, hey to you from Boston. Looking forward to this. Hey, oh, that's great. I've been away due to medical issues and trying to catch up on everything I've missed in the boot camp and leadership. Great to be back. Natalie, great to have you. I'm so sorry to hear you are away. I do know you are in those programs, and we love to have you. I hope you're doing, I really do. I hope you're doing okay. I really do. Dana, you got another one here. What do we got? All right, this one maybe I can give you a little more help than pointing you to the answer. So, what are better terms for core competencies for building, buying, partner analysis, and decision making? Okay, sorry, 2 questions. Okay, so decision making to me is not a core competency. A core competency is a business function that you do. Forecasting. What is it that you build, for example? Is it product development? Is it product design? Is it software development? So building is something like that. If you're talking about team building, that's not a core competency to me. Team management, right? That's a function that you do. That could be one. If you're talking about like building a company, that to me is not in and of itself a core competency. You want the core competencies to be very discrete. Buying is purchasing, but in my mind. So I don't know if that's what you mean. Partner analysis, that's research to me. And partner analysis, do you actually build the partnerships? That's partner relationship management, partner relationship development, things of that nature. Could be other terms that I would use. I would need to know what it is that you actually did in order to figure out what the function is. But the business function, the core competency itself, should be something very discrete. Sales, marketing, forecasting, budgeting, right? Even operations that includes a number of things is still a function. So I hope that helps. I hope just get that, hopefully that scooted you in the right direction. Deborah, you're welcome. I'm grateful to know you too. That's really nice. Doug Milligan, if you take a good enough job but keep looking, how do you explain? Oh, I love this. Doug Milligan, let's get this up here. All right, if you take a good enough job but keep looking, how do you explain this to prospective employers if it comes up? They may think you'd do the same to them. Yes, that's right. They may think you do this. They may think you would do that. That's right. You're anticipating how will this look, right? So what you need to say is, well, as you can, by the way, Doug, like insert the exact amounts, dates, things like that you would for your situation or anybody who is out there. Say, you know what, as you can see, I was out of work for 6 months. And during that time, I got my stuff in order. I really did some soul searching. I figured out what I was looking for, and I was searching avidly, but I was unable to find it or secure, however you want to say it. And so it was dragging on, and I needed to pay the bills. And so I knew when I accepted that role that that's all it was going to be for me, because this isn't my dream job, and I do believe that it's out there and that I can find it. So when I do, and I know that it exists, I'm there to stay. So far, based on what I've gathered, we're off to a good start because you match based on what I know, just my research or whoever I've talked to or whatever, that you hit boom, 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 run down your requirements. Okay, it's the same answer to why do you want to work here? Go check that video out too. Why do you want to work here? Where you rattle off why they match up and why you want to work there. What you're saying is this other company served a different purpose for me. I'm still looking for a home. That's why I'm not going to leave. Okay, so that's it. Right? You're a stand-up guy. You're open and honest. Employers get this. Okay, especially now, right? I would understand that. Here's the other thing. And Doug, it's not like I remember your resume off the top of my head. If all of you, Doug and et al., right? If you generally have a pretty good runs on your resume, 5 years, 7 years, right? 4 years, and then you're out 6 months and you take a job that you were at 3 months, right? Recruiter looks at the whole thing. Hiring official looks at the whole thing. What's the context for this guy? Now, that is not as good an argument if I see 1 year, 18 months, 15 months, 3 years, 1 year, 2, right? Like everybody's situation is going to be different. If you've generally had good runs, you go straight up with it. This is what happened. This is what I did. I would do anything to take care of my family, right? Kind of thing. That's what I would go with. It works. I'm guessing you won't have the issue of the job hopping. Jason Garrity, my buddy, how you doing? Gary H. Oh, look at all these boot campers right there. Miami Mike. Newbie, can we give Miami Mike, where it's probably sunny, a live office hours shout out? Hey, and if you're loving this, couple things. Hit the thumbs up button. YouTube loves the thumbs up. Apparently today there's a Google moderator trying to sabotage my chat. But generally speaking, YouTube loves the action. It loves the shares. It loves the likes. And I personally would love for you to subscribe to the channel because I always say this. It hurts me when you don't get my new stuff every week. And, I do this every week. I put the recordings out on Tuesday. We do the live shows on Thursday. And you guys are just a great community, and I do appreciate you. So whether you subscribe or not, as long as you're here, that's really what matters. But, the subscriber count looks good. Okay, what else? If you haven't connected with me on LinkedIn, I always forget to say this. Send me a connection request, please. Just say, Andy, I was on the live show today. You said send you a connection request. I'd love to connect directly with you. I like to be connected directly to people. It's nice that people follow me, except if you follow me and I'm not following you, then I'm not seeing what you got going on in your life. Not to mention, you can't leverage my network. So let's get connected directly, first degree, okay, together on LinkedIn. I just got done yapping a little while ago about how much I love coming here each week because you share with me what's going on. You ask me the questions, right? Well, on the LinkedIn feed, I'm seeing what's going on too. That helps. And then I love Instagram. So if you like the YouTube videos, on Instagram, we put 2 videos out a day, 1 to 5 minute videos usually, and then my quote cards and other things. So I'd love to get connected with you there too, if you're open to it. That's my favorite platform, it really is. So, and don't forget, maybe Kara can drop it in as me, about the job search mini camp. The mini camp is like a mini camp. It's a mini camp, and then you got the full training camp after that. But the mini camps can be really good. I've got just about all the slides done, I'm building the workbooks, and all this stuff for the VIPs. It's good. If you are in the VIP pass, which is I think $47, you don't, no obligation, but you get the exclusive Zoom room, you get the Q&A, you get the workbook, you get the slides, you get the recordings in the system, you get them all. And if you're in the job search boot camp, the official up top boot camp coaching program, the VIP perks are free. So it's really a sweet deal. And if I thoroughly confused you with this camp and that camp, email support@malwalk.com and we'll take care of you. Okay, Kara is telling me, Laura Fitzgerald, my boot camper and leader, is in negotiations for a job. We are close, but I want to see one of the offices and the CEO in person. I don't blame you. Before I finalize, next week may be the end of my job search journey. I am so glad to have Andy and team and all the support for this amazing community. I will forever be indebted for the valuable job searching, work-life balance, and all the leadership great advice. Like everything that is all about what we put into our journey, but having great support makes all the difference. I don't know that I could have said that better myself, Laura. And people, whether you're in a program like she's in, like my job search coaching and my leadership coaching programs, job searching is lonely. Personal development is lonely if you're not doing it with others and you're not in a community getting that support. And it's one of the biggest things that people minimize. I did an interview the other day, and by interview, I mean I talked to somebody, Mashid, who you will see her story next month. And I interviewed her for lessons to share with you all. And one of the things that she said in the interview, I wish I had like a trailer for you, is that the community was amazing because whenever she had a question, she could go to the WhatsApp group or the Facebook group or wherever she wanted, ask her question, and people would support her. Now, she had me too, but to be able to get the perspectives of the others in the programs who have been through this, you have to remember something. Somebody who loses a job or really is unhappy in their job, who changes, and people who never had to search before, it changes their lives and their perspectives. And it also changes the way they approach supporting others because they know how freaking miserable they felt. And for whatever your inspiration is, wherever your source of energy comes from, believe me, these people in this community, and even all of you, even on my YouTube channel and everything, I mean, I applaud you all. I thank you all. I hope you all support each other. And then those of you that are in the premium programs, especially, you have assets to do that. And we have 30 other people that are now in my high-level coaching group, and we're going to be setting up a private community just for you all, just for the 30 of you. So, I mean, it really is about supporting each other, and I really thank you, Laura, for sharing that and giving me kind of a springboard to share that message with everybody. You don't need to go this alone. You really don't. Natalie Allman, let's see, I think this is I don't know if it's a comment. 58, my boot camper, in administrative field, starting over after a long gap. I'm worried my past higher salaries will screen me out if salary comes up and I'm willing to work for less. Natalie, just make sure you hit module 5 in the boot camp. You always want to defer. You never want to assume. don't give them your information, and stress, I'm interested in your company. That's the superseding factor. And the next superseding factor is, I'm gonna get back in the game, right? I've been out a little while, I appreciate that, but I've got a lot of years of experience and a lot to offer. Make me a fair offer. I think you'll do fine. And when you need the help, you let me know. Yvonne, how do? Kurt, my boy, how are you? Bob, how you doing? Jetting Chen, oh my God, all my boot camp, you guys are awesome. Lucky Star. Flying Uber Tuber, always great to see you. And Jason from Huntington Beach. I don't know if Huntington Row is here, but Huntington J, you guys should meet each other. Deb, how are ya? Miss Marie from the other side of the pound. Victor, oh my God, my boot campers, I love you guys. Seattle is cloudy and 64. Chicago is sunny and 48. It's frost on the grass. Everything is just terrible. Terribly cold. Ray. Hey, Andy, working with an executive recruiter that ghosted me. 1.5 weeks later, I follow up, no answer. 2.5 weeks later, she emails me for a different opportunity and doesn't acknowledge the first one. Okay. All right. Let me tell you this about executive recruiters. I'm assuming you guys know that I am one. We have diligent tracking systems. We have CRM systems. We have email systems. Everything's integrated. Every communication we have with you is logged, relogged, triple check logged. So it is a bit awful that the person didn't acknowledge, but let me also tell you something about what some executive recruiters do. Sometimes they email you, you said you're working with a recruiter that ghosted me. Now, when you say working with, as if like we talked on the phone or we did a Zoom session together, that's working with. If you email exchange, that's not working with, that's email exchanging. So when you say working with, I'm gonna assume that means you talk to them. Now, a week and a half later, no follow-up, 2.5 weeks later, it's a different opportunity. I don't know how far your one opportunity went. I don't know how the person left it with you, like, hey, if you're a fit, I'll get back to you. Or if my client is interested, I'll get back to you. Now, if it's me, I get back to you. I say to you, hey, Ray, no matter what happens, I'm going to get back to you and let you know one way or another. Because the most valuable thing for me with you and the most valuable thing for you with me is the relationship. All that outside stuff is irrelevant at this moment. And technically, it should be irrelevant on an ongoing basis. Because I want to be the window to the employment market for you. I want to help you with your career. I want you to come back to me when you need help, that kind of stuff. This here, to me, I don't know how in-depth your first interaction was. And if you were only emailing, it's possible that somebody else was emailing you from the recruiter's email. And that the recruiter and then a different person, either the recruiter or another person, was emailing you another time for an opportunity that they're hoping you would take. And I also don't know if this was through LinkedIn. Like, so when you say, you got emails, I'm assuming you meant emails, not LinkedIn in-mails, because LinkedIn is probably being used by somebody else, meaning it's not that person. So it's all a red flag, of red flags up the pole. But that's kind of par for the course these days. Recruiters, they're not very effective. Tom Phillips, hey to you. And Aylin, how are you, my dear? And have I told you how much I absolutely love that picture? All right. Iman, my new boot camper, how do, buddy? Hey, I saw you emailed support and you found what you were looking for, but we got a whole boss hunting Bible coming for you. I mean, it's like the most amazing thing ever. I literally wrote, and Iman, you know what I'm gonna try to do? I'm gonna get this up as soon as I got all the templates. I'm gonna get them into the boot camp and give them to you. So if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, for people that are in my job search boot camp, the coaching program, my signature coaching program, as well as people that take the VIP Perks Pass for the mini camp, the job search mini camp, I wrote a job hunting, basically a boss hunting Bible with the templates, which you actually can get on YouTube right now. If you go to my boss hunting video, you can download those templates. There's 2 of them, one if there's a job opening and one if there isn't. But what I've written in the Bible is like 10 more all the follow-ups. What do I do when? When the boss gets back to me and says, great. When the boss gets back to me and says, no, thank you. When the boss gets back to me and says, oh, that's not me, that's Susie's department down the hall. No, wait, hang on, you need to go to the recruiter. No, wait, hang on, put it in the ATS. I've written every single response that you have to have for anything I could think of. So, Iman, I'm gonna get that in for you, and we're gonna send you a message, because Kara's gonna make a note that we wanna send it to Iman first. And anybody else who's in the boot camp, we'll let you know. And anybody who's in the mini camp, it's really a pretty sweet thing to get into that VIP program. And Scott, great to have you. A lot of my European friends. Tom Phillips, manager agrees we're underpaid, but clients say they can go elsewhere for cheaper. Best option is to move on. Yes. So, manager agrees we're underpaid, but clients say they can go elsewhere for cheaper. I'm assuming that you and your manager boss are doing some work for a client who's paying some hourly wage or something like that. It's up to you. Everything is a choice based on your parameters, right? Do you need this business? Do you not? Do you, right? Do you want to raise your rates if it, So let me give you a great example. I use Hootsuite for, well, no, when I say I mean Stacy uses Hootsuite to schedule our social media posts. So we don't like sit there all day. Well, a few of them go out manually, but we don't sit there all day and all those, where you see me everywhere and all those everything that circulates on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all those places, YouTube even. We don't sit there, we schedule all that. Now she optimizes schedules, looks at the topics and all that good stuff. We paid like $111 a year for that. And then Hootsuite sent us a message that said, we're raising it to $588. And I said, I got a choice. I'm not paying you $588. So I went and found another tool. And then, the team, Karen, Stacey, they tested it and they're looking at it. I don't want to pay that, right? When I can pay a fraction. Now, I don't mind paying more, but if you are going to, basically raise it 500% and not give me any additional features, I'm out of here. This analogy applies to you, right? You could raise your rates, your customers could leave. Customer could say, I think I could get this cheaper. Will you lower your rate? You say, no. We'll go find another client that values us differently, better. I'm about controlling my choices, and I'm about no one gives me those options. Anna, I absolutely love your vibe. Andy, thank you so much for this huge amount of such positive energy. Love it. I love your vibe too. Love your Instagram posts. Those are fantastic. Very cool. Daisy Guzman, Sherry, great to see y'all. Jason, I might have this exact challenge with an offer this week. Can't wait to say I want to make this work. That's right. I want to make it work. I do want to make it work. I would like to make it work. Christina P. Hey, Andy, wrote negotiable an app to investment manager tech job. Had first interview April 14th with managing director of venture capital company. I'm assuming use your tips, future focus, and comp. Important, but discussed later as uneducated guess. I really need this job. Was good discussion and said would get back to me in a week for interview with team. Emailed thank you same day plus 3 lines helpful info to their issue by day 8 now. How do I professionally follow up? So Christina, I would just say that I would give, and I realize it's day 8. Now day 8, I'm assuming you mean calendar day 8, like a full week and a day. It's not the end of the world. The first thing I would tell you is anytime that you speak with someone and you interview with someone or interact with them, what's the next step? By when will that occur? And who will contact me? You got to get all that, because if you would have asked me that and I would have said, hey, Christina, it's just going to take us a couple weeks. We got to sort through some stuff, or I'm on vacation or whatever, then it's not really a big deal. right? They're not even late yet. But it feels like a long time to you. 8 days is not really a long time, and without knowing more about the whole situation, I mean, I appreciate what you put in there. I don't think it's not about the money. It's not about the all that stuff. So I'd give him maybe another 3 days, and then just send him a message and say, hey, really enjoyed our discussion and wanted to follow up with you to see what the next steps are. If you're not sure when those are, can you at least let me know one way or another if you have any updates? If not, can you let me know by when you'll have an update? So the call to action is important because you're actually asking them, do respond, please. Okay, so you need to have the call to action. One of the biggest mistakes that most people make when they send a message to a recruiter, to the hiring official, to the whatever, where you need to hear back because there is in your mind going to be a next step. You got to get the call to action. Please respond no matter what, right? Please, even if you don't know, can you let me know by when you think you will know? Like a call to action, ? Boom, and then send it. So I wish you a lot of luck. Hang in there. Uzoma, how do you find the balance between showing passion and enthusiasm for a role, particularly when they're your ideal company, and the grieving that happens if you're rejected? I don't think about the way that I do it. So I don't like to overthink things. I like to just know my formula and go. And so Uzoma, what I would say is my passion, my enthusiasm, I express it. Okay, I'm going to be effusive. You don't like it, that's fine. Then we're not right for each other. I love this company. Here's why. I'm excited about the role. Here's why. I like you specifically. Here's why. This works for me. Okay? And if I get rejected, that's out of my control. It's out of my control. I don't worry about anything that I cannot control at all. Hootsuite wants to raise my bill from $111 to $588. I don't control that. What do I control? Boom, we're out of here. Right kind of thing. I don't spend any time. What can I control? I have a decision to make. I don't have a choice. I have a decision. Draw that distinction, right? You never have choices. You create or manufacture the choices you want. If somebody rejects you, the only thing I think about is, I really like that company. I'm sending them the rejection letter, right? If you guys don't know what the rejection letter is, just type LaCivita rejection or rejected, and it'll come right up. But it's how to get the job after being rejected. That's what you can control. You send it, you planted the seed, you went and you move on. That's it. It is about focusing on what you can control. I hope that helps. Gail Robbins, my new boot camper. Working Basecamp, I'm a creative brand strategist using design thinking to help companies develop sustainable products, services so they connect with consumers, building a better world. I love it. Great to have you in the program, Gail. Bavini, yesterday I have received a job offer. Now number of salary is a point where it's stop. He asked me first, what is your expectations? When I gave the number, he gave me a very low number and give callback. So I'm not sure what the question is. I'm not sure what to tell you. Keith W. Have an email today from a recruiter saying they are in second round interviews and to put my application in the system. Do you think they are so far in I don't really have a chance? No. I would stop at the 11th hour if I saw somebody come in that I loved. Go, buddy. Good luck with that. I'm serious. All y'all, remember Andy says this. Okay? Anything that you think, don't make any assumptions. I'm too senior, they won't be able to pay enough. There's no way he'll ever respond to me. There's no way she'll ever go out with me. There's no way they would stop what they're doing if they've been recruiting for 3 weeks. Don't assume anything. Keith, you can control it. You got a response, right? You go. Put it in. Put it all in there. Beauty it up. See what happens. You don't know. Wait, hold on. Here's another thing. Keith, you put it in, they hire the person anyway. And then they see your resume and they're like, we need another person for this team. Wait, this guy's got that. He's been building businesses. He could maybe go over here and do this and that. Art of the possible. Go. All you need to do is try it. You know, let me share this story with you. It's a great story, and if any of my lifetime leaders are here, I think they'll appreciate this. But this goes back to the lesson for today. I didn't tell this story. I pulled this story from the talk, but I'd like to offer it up now. When I say you don't know the market pay, you don't know what could happen, don't make any assumptions, that goes for me too, okay? So I eat my own dog food. I never assume, ever, never. I don't know anything. I literally don't. Let me show you how I don't know anything. So about a month ago or so, I'm minding my own business. I'm sitting back in that chair. Kara doesn't know this. I'm sitting in that chair right there. I'm sitting there, and Kara is walking me through the support queue from her house. She's running through the support queue, and I'm sitting there, and probably Harley was on my lap or something like that, and I'm just focused on her. And she's walking through the stuff that she has to ask me, because sometimes we have to banter back and forth about what to do with somebody who's made an inquiry. Somebody, his name's Phil, he said he was in my job search coaching program and a boot camper, right? So he's on the job searching side. He said, I really would like to get into your leadership coaching program, but I don't want to pay a monthly rate. So Kara said to him previously, oh, you could pay annually. And he then replied, I don't even want to pay annually. Can you just tell me, is there a number that I could pay that you would be happy with, and then I could be in for life so I never have to deal with this again? Now, I'm sitting in that chair. Kara says to me, I don't know, look, maybe we should think about this. So, okay. I didn't even think that was a thing. I didn't think anybody would even want to do that. Never thought about it. One person. Okay, now, this guy could be an outlier, right? So I said, we go back and forth. I said, all right, $2,000, $2,000. And you know what? For $2,000, I'll throw a bunch of bonuses in. Then I thought about it the next day. And I'm like, would anybody else be interested in this? I don't think so. Why would anybody want to do this? Man, this guy's he's just dedicated and he gets it, and I appreciate that. So I sent an email to a small group of people and said, would anybody be interested in this? And then I sent another email. And then and I actually shot a 3-minute video just to kind of just talk what I was thinking, and I'm gonna throw some bonuses in and free coaching with me and high-level coaching group, and we'll do this for like 6 months. And anybody want that? So Kara says, how many people do you think will jump in? So, I don't know. Last week I 0. This week I think 1. So let's just say 5, right? Maybe 5 people. 5 people willing to pay $2,000 because I don't know what I'm worth, right? Just go out there. Why would anybody want to do this? 30 people jump in. 2 emails, wasn't even a sales. There's no sales page for this. A product that we didn't even have, that we hadn't even started yet. We now have a 30-person high-level coaching group that's going to meet, half a dozen times or so this year together with a bunch of other stuff. And all 30 of those people got a free coaching call with me. So what does this mean? Why am I telling you all this? Well, first thing is, I don't know what I'm worth. Second thing is, I don't know what people are willing to pay. Third thing is, I probably gave away too much or I didn't charge enough, right? I can't predict any of that at all. I don't know it. You don't know it, right? So what if I actually would have put the pedal down and really tried to sell that, right? This is what I mean. You can never assume anything you don't know. So don't, and here's the worst kind of assumption you make. You make an assumption that prevented you from jumping in, sending the message, asking her out, asking for more, right? And you killed yourself before you ever started. Don't do that. You deserve better. So Keith, go send the damn application in. You know what I'm saying? And all my 30 people, you'll be getting a video from me here in the next couple of days. And we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing. So that's what I'm talking about. You just don't know. You don't know, you got to try it. See what you got. All right, what else here? I hope you enjoyed that story. I'm really excited about that group. But that just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. You still don't know. William, hey to you. Hulk, Drico, how do? Baby girl, you chose B. I love it. Hey, Kara, I'm seeing, oh, it was banned? I'm seeing ban. Is it possible that I'm seeing, oh no, that's not it. Kara, let me know. I don't know what time it was, but I see the thing where you put the video on what to say, but it's under you. I'm wondering if that Google moderator thing stopped. Jerry Salzberg, what are your thoughts about an org who plays the middleman connecting freelancers with clients who have gig work? We call this a staffing company. Jerry, and I think they're great. I do. I mean, I'm all good with that. They take a sliver off the top. You know, they say, hey, Jerry, I'm Andy. I got a staffing firm. Well, it's executive searcher, mile walk, but staffing firm. I got a client over here who needs a good accountant, good project manager, good salesperson. How's $80 an hour sound? You say, Andy, that's great. I say, okay, no problem. I get 10, you get 7, or you get 80, I get 10. So they're paying me 90. I give you 80, I take 10. Kind of thing. That's great. It opens up doors. Aylin, I very much want to work for an org. Hold on, because you're awesome, and we're going to put this right up here. And I'm going to say you look damn fine in that shirt and that cup. Never gets old. What do I say? Whoever has the most inside jokes wins life. Okay, I very much want to work for an org. I applied for a different role last week, in-house instructor, and now the director of product marketing just opened up. Much better fit. How do I deal with the pivot? So it's inside the same organization. I would go to whoever is your strongest link. I don't know if that's like a recruiter or an HR person, or if you're dealing with a hiring official, if it's a small company or a large company. But I would say, I noticed that you just opened this up. I was highly interested in getting in your company with whatever skills I could apply to give you, great value. You had this in-house instructor available, but I just noticed that the director of product marketing opened up. This would be an even better fit where I can add more value. Can I throw my hat in the ring for that? That's okay. Remember, the question is, well, why, right? Here's what you're trying to rebut before it even starts. Why did you apply for that? I just wanted to get in your company. I love your company. Man, I'm targeting your company. I joined a company, I don't join a job. Okay, all right. And then I have these skills. I could do this. That was the most important thing. And I figured once I get in the company, I could go anywhere, right? I'll prove myself and opportunities will open up. But one already opened up. I'm not even there yet. In you go. No problem. Let me know how it turns out. Oh, this, Laura, that was great. I'm now seeing your folks here. I'm going to put this in again. I mentioned this earlier. Laura, this is awesome. And anybody who's interested in the job search coaching program, which is what Laura is in, the boot camp that she's referring to. We used to call it the job search boot camp. We're going through a branding thing. But if you want to get in, we'll kick you off the $100 bucks. We'll chisel it down, make it more palatable, get you in. You roll through it over the next couple weeks, and then you can come to the public mini camp with the private VIP room and then the private boot camp or coaching sessions after. Laura, lots of luck, man. I'm really hoping and pulling for you. David. Hey, Andy, heard back from the recruiter after your insight yesterday. Wrote email reply. Your template won't provide a range. First time this has happened. Okay. This is for my people in my boot camp. Dave, great meeting you the other day. That was awesome. Tons of fun. And I did see your email. I did reply to your email. You did see the script in the boot camp that I gave you, the exact script. The exact script works live and it works in the email. So any of you people in the job search boot camp, if you get asked via email your salary expectations, I want you to reply the same way as you would if you were live and focus on the stuff I've given you. So make sure that you do that. I know we have a lot of people in the coaching program here, but you could literally cut it out of the slide and type it in the email would be the response I would go with. And don't ever, in the email, don't ask them for their range. You are responding in an email. You totally control your response. I'm interested in your company. Comp is important. It's one component. You know the script. Pop it in there, but don't ask them their range. You don't need to. Okay, go with that. Oh, Lisa, how are you? Great to see you. Okay, wait, as a follow-up. You never lowball anything. You give no information whatsoever, zero information. You don't want you defer. Always defer. Never open up with any number. Never ask them if you can avoid it unless they are literally getting red and they need a number to check a box. There's no reason to lowball the number. Don't pretend like I'm cheaper than I am when I get to the end. I think I told you my contractor story, right? I wanted to redo my deck. I said, hey, ballpark this for me. What do you think? He said 17,000. I'm like, oh, all right, okay, I don't know. I got to figure that out. And he said, yeah. I said, you're not signing in blood or anything. Came back 38,000. Never called him back. He never called me. It's ridiculous. What do I say? First number, what do we do? You ever walk into a store? You see a number. It's called an anchor point. First thing you see. I say to you, well, my program's really worth $2,000, but you could have it for $50. Well, first off, that's ridiculous, but you get the point, right? You focus on the initial one, and then you're down here and you're thinking you're getting a deal. But if I say it's 2,000, but actually I'm going to charge you 3,000, now you think like you're losing, right? And we psychologically place great weight on the first thing we see or hear. So if you lowball them, David, and you say, I'm worth 100, or I'm thinking 100, and you go in and you say 150, they're going to feel like they lost. Either way, even though you're going to have to make the argument why you're worth 150. So what you need to say is, well, I didn't give you any number, and this is a good thing that I didn't because I wasn't sure what you needed me to do and how much value I could contribute and all this other stuff, right? Just remember, there's an anchor point. That's what people, and they also, there's anchor points and there's price juxtapositions. So without getting too detailed in how we see and react to what we see and react to, but what a lot of people will do is they will try to show you context and then give you the number. That's juxtapositioning versus anchoring. Well, let's start here. No, I'm going to give it to you for half that. That'd be like me going to a negotiation and saying, your recruitment fee is 33% of the salary, but walking out the door saying, all right, you're a good guy. We're going to do it for 25. Okay. So you don't want to do that. Stay away from that. Brenda Houlihan, I know no ATS. I love that. On applications, additional questions about sexuality, sex you can identify. These are in addition to the standard questions. Are there any repercussions if you do not answer? Okay, this is becoming more common where people are asking your orientation. And there's all kinds of goofy ways of asking this. Like I was having to fill this in for something I was doing in a doctor's office or whatever. Do you identify as male, female? Were you born male or female? Like you're actually answering these in case you wanted to change. So what I say is this. Obviously, it's all a little different. We all come from different countries. There are people from all over the world in my community and in the programs. And I would say the same thing to them as I would this very eclectic group of you all here, is I just try to be truthful, right? Like any opportunity that I have to be truthful, I just try to be truthful. And I just go with that. I don't overthink it. I answer everything to the best of my ability as accurately and as truthfully as possible. I never try to hide anything, and I never want to lie, and I never want to twist the words. And I'm not talking about making sure you identify the effect on your resume by showing the rippling effect of what you did and what happened. That's different. I'm talking about filling in questions like this you want to make sure that you're being honest. I don't know if there are repercussions because I don't know if the company would hold anything against you. I always say be honest and stuff like that. So if I can get a few more of these in here. Let me make a few more here. Let's see. I was asked to complete Brenda, I was asked to complete a personality and aptitude test in an interview. After I completed, they passed on me. The aptitude test has nothing to do with the job. I don't know if that was the reason. I would not worry about this. I would not overthink this. I would move on with my life. What about you're being overqualified? I have one of those out there. Go check out the overqualified video, D.A. Gart. David, good luck. Let me see. Raphael, how about asking for a salary range when they ask you? That is a bailout. It is a good one. If they are turning purple, like, Raphael, we absolutely have to have a number for you. First off, it's a stupid tactic. Then I would just say, okay, you obviously have a budget in mind. Why don't you just tell me what the budget is, and I will tell you okay or not. And no matter what it is, unless it is like way low, I would just say, okay, fine. No problem. Let's keep moving. And then I think you have that in 3 times, 4 times. I think my guess is you were probably reposting this, but I see it. Pilar, great to see you. Bhavani, how long should I wait to reply for sending an email to offer my salary expectations? I wouldn't even send it ever. Never send my salary expectations. I would have them make me an offer. All right, wait, couple of quick announcements. If you want to get into the job search boot, the full-on coaching program, we'll give you the $100 off, support@matlock.com. Hopefully you've got the link for the job search mini camp. Mini, free, or you can get in the VIP room for the $47. You can get all those things I told you. We're going to give prizes away too and all kinds of awesome stuff, or it's free on the YouTube channel. Believe me, it'll be really good. It's deep, and we're going deep on 4 main topics: the resume, the searching itself as it relates to boss hunting, as it relates to searching, interviewing, and salary negotiation. I'm going to do a detailed walkthrough of one of my coaching clients, and it's going to be great. Interview intervention, which is sitting behind out of reach there, that's free. I'll ship it to you anywhere in the world for $7. Materials and handling, you get the ebook, the audiobook, and another booklet, 75 how to interview the employer, 75 great questions to ask before you take any job. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, and I will see you all Tuesday with another video that I think you're gonna like. All right, you guys be good. We'll see you.